And after leaving it dry for 4 to 5 hours around there, that's what we're left with. Very hard material when it dries, along with the fiberglass screen. Right, I'm actually very impressed. Now we have our front side of the bumper. Do you see the staples right there, along with the fiberglass mesh? And now we're gonna fill this gap with our plastic bonder. There are 2-part epoxy. Alright, so now I'm just mixing the last of my plastic bonder. Okay, now we have our adhesive. We're going to apply it. Looks like I'm gonna need more than what I have left. Alrighty, so alright, so this bumper is for a Jeep, and we have already primered it with a surfacer, sanded it, and we're just gonna apply some primer on some spots that I burned through, or that I sanded a little bit too much. Alright, so we're mixing more of our plastic bonder to apply to our repair. Okay, so what I like to do, I let the plastic bonder become just a little bit more tacky than more liquidy, because it's easier to work with. So just in the meantime, just keep on mixing it and test it to see how it is behaving. Once it starts getting a little bit thicker, then I'd say it's the right time to apply it to our repair. Okay, so now let's get ready to apply. Okay, so from what I've seen with this type of a 2-part plastic bonder is that it'll expand. So don't overfill your repair, because the rest of the volume is gonna expand. It's gonna fill up your volume though. Alright, so the first, I wanted to point out that when I first started using this type of a 2-part bonder, I just mixed it and went straight away to applying it. And I think that was a big mistake, because it was like very liquid, and I couldn't control it. I couldn't apply it and make it stay how I wanted to stay, and I was just making a mess. So now what I'm doing, I'm just pressing down to fill all the little tiny gaps and promote good adhesion of our plastic bonder. Alright, so now that I've applied our plastic bonder, make sure you apply it when it's not that liquidy. So you gotta make sure to just mix it, and as you're mixing it, you can feel when it's getting a little bit harder. So go ahead and apply it when it's just a little bit harder, because you may actually make a mess when you mix it and go to apply it. Because like this, when it's a little bit harder, you can control where you want it to go. And the thing about this is that it actually starts expanding once it starts hardening. So don't overfill, because it's gonna, are gonna end up working just a little bit more on having to grind down, if you will. What I like to do is just like feather edge our plastic bonder to the repair. Alrighty. So as you can see, here's our gap filled up with our 2-part plastic bonder. You see how the edges of the gap in the bonder, they're feather edged for the most part. Okay, now we have our plastic bonder all dried up and it expanded. Now we use a blade to cut off the excess amount. And now we have our sanded down plastic bonder. You can see some little craters right there, but we're gonna cover all this with a fiberglass filler here. Right now I'm mixing it. So let's set our camera and get ready to mix it and apply it. Ready to mix. Well, ready to apply. Remember, when you apply it, you make sure to press down. And I believe we got a good coverage right there. Gets already hardening, so better make this quick. Alright, so we let our fiberglass filler dry up, and then we're gonna get ready and sand everything down with, I believe 80 grit would be good enough for us. And this is my final result after applying some light coats of fiberglass filler, because I had some low spots. This is what I'm left. And I noticed that the dark spot is actually the plastic, and what I did there when I was sanding, it was just like lifting up, and with this blade I scraped just like so to give me more of a uniform area to prime and to feather edge everything together. And so I'm gonna apply some coats of a high fill primer or surfacing primer. And that's our, I would say, final surface before priming it and sanding it to have it ready for base coat and clear coat.